Hey guys, welcome back to the Hat House. Today's video, we kind of ran into a snafu. It's only the second time that's happened this year.
We had to cancel an order. We looked everywhere for it. We couldn't find it. It was a shirt. All of our clothing is in order by number, and we've looked everywhere. We looked at other platforms. It hasn't sold on those, so we don't know where it is.
So does that happen to you guys? I mean, it doesn't happen very often to us at all, but having to cancel our second order this year. Good thing the new year is starting soon and we can start fresh and shoot for zero next year. But it does take a little bit of a hit to our account. Luckily, we sell enough items that it's not a big deal. But sometimes you just got to cancel it and hope that the customer understands. Of course, Mary wrote them a nice little note apologizing for the inconvenience. So hopefully that goes better. But don't forget today, we have to talk about Mary's hat too. So she's got on Tulsa Drillers, and this is an Army style hat. I know we talk about the different hat styles sometimes. This one happens to be an Army or a cadet style hat, and they usually do sell pretty well. Usually women buy them more than men, I would say, but there are some men's styles out there as well. But like I said, we still got a lot going on. Today, we've got a ton of hats to clean up as well. I'm going to show you those. All right, so these are all the hats that we've got to get cleaned up today. Not everything in the hat house is always beautiful hats. Sometimes I get some that aren't the greatest, but I still got to go through these. See, there's a nice Nike hat in here, but there's a nice Patagonia hat in here, but it's super dirty. And then just a bunch of random hats, KVU hats. This one's pretty nice. It's got a nice big patch on it, but I got a whole box full of hats that I'm going to have to go through, and another tub of hats that I'm going to have to go through. We're going to have to clean these all up today and see what we can get done with them. Now, I will tell you also, sales haven't been the greatest either, and I have a ton of lots of hats as well. Let me show you our rack. So this is the rack that we keep all of our lots of hats on, and you can kind of see it's pretty full. I don't ever want the rack really to get more than this. These are hats that we've lotted up and we sell. So I think I'm going to take a good markdown on these as well today to try to get some of these moving, because as I move through these other hats, and I've got a bunch of hats coming in today as well, I'm just going to have to make some room for them, because there's just not enough room. There's a spot for maybe 2 boxes in there, and that's just not going to cut it. So sales have been slow. Probably won't pick up till after the new year, but I still got to move some hats. So we're going to take some markdowns on those to get those out of here, and we're going to get these cleaned up today as well. But let's get to the sales that we have had and show you what's going out, because there's some cool ones in here. All right, first up was this really nice vintage Washington Huskies. They're getting ready to play in the, is it the Rose Bowl? Or are they playing in the sugar? Which bowl are they playing in? Mary will check it out for us so I don't say it wrong. They're playing Texas. I think it's the Rose Bowl. But anyways, the customer sent me a message. They really want to get it in time for the Rose Bowl. So they even paid for priority shipping, $29 for this hat right here. Really nice, new era, vintage Washington Huskies snapback.
They play in the Sugar Bowl.
It's the Sugar Bowl. I would think the Huskies would play in the Rose Bowl. That would seem more fitting, but Sugar Bowl, still cool. We are pulling for the Huskies here in this Sooners house. So go Huskies. I hope you get your hat in time. Next up is another nice vintage hat. This is a vintage corduroy Portland Trail Blazers. Went out for like $29. Pretty clean condition. Sold super fast. The tag was even faded on it. I think it was an AMA Pro, but really nice corduroy Portland Trail Blazers. The sports corduroys are selling really fast right now, and a pretty decent price. And next up was this Chicago Bulls. Second time we've sold it. I think this went for $25 this time. Somebody returned it on Mercari because they said it was like peeling, and you might check the patches on these. A lot of times they'll be coming off. They're really easy to repair. This one wasn't peeling very bad at all. We just put a spot of fabric glue on it and it's good to go. It is almost in like new condition. $25 for this hat. It's a really good collectible Bulls hat. Next up was this vintage Nike USA hat, and it went for $30. There's some of them that are priced up around the $70 to $100 range. I have another one in my store that's in better condition that I want to get 50 to 60 out of. But this one had some damage on the bill, and I took $30 for this one. And always be on the lookout for this style. They do sell upwards to the 50 to 100 range, just depending on how good of a condition you got. Next up, another Portland Trailblazers hat, regular snapback New Era, went out for $10. And a Vans hat, had a cool like plaid colorway on it, went out for $13. Flex fit, super clean Vans hat, $13. Then a blank rope trucker, went out for $14. Found these at Goodwill, actually. I hardly ever find hats at Goodwill, but these for like, I got probably, how many did I get of these? It was probably...
He got about 30 of them.
Yeah, about 30 of them for $2 a piece. And blank truckers do pretty well. If it had been foam, it probably done better. But still a nice blank blue trucker for $14. And next, just a blank Reebok hat. Went out for $10. Snapback Reebok hat, $10. Next up was a Chicago Blackhawks Stanley Cup champions. Went out for $10. Regular dad hat by New Era. Next up was this New York Mets awesome authentic collection New Era hat. I sourced this on Whatnot. I think I got it for like $5 to $7. Went out for $30. It had the nice black and blue, awesome colorway, awesome size, 7 5/8 sizing. It is really good as well. And make sure you check out my my Whatnot video and check out Whatnot. I have a link down in the description for Whatnot if you ever want to sign up for it. But it's a good place. You just got to kind of catch the right time that when somebody's going live and has a bunch of good hats. But you can catch them on there and get some good deals, especially the fitted hats. They don't really sell for much on Whatnot. And you get some good deals and flip some vintage fitted hats. All right, next up was this Eagles hat. It was just a regular dad hat. Went out for $15. 47 brand dad hat. Next up was this Vineyard Vines hat. It went out for $12. Vineyard Vines just usually does not have that great of selling prices on hats. They're really not that well made either, to be totally honest. Vineyard Vines is a pretty decent clothing brand, but when it comes to hats, even these nice colors like this, kind of hard to sell sometimes. This one took forever. And $12. Next up was a combined order. They got a really good deal on this. I just took it because sales have not been the greatest. $32 for this 5-panel hat and this awesome vintage. It didn't have a brand, which might have hurt it a little bit, but it was a really cool fishing hat with the flies all over it. It was a panel hat, had the strap on it as well. So they got a really good deal for $32 for both of these hats, and just needed some sales sometimes. And next up was a KVU hat. It went out for $16, just a regular strapback KVU. They usually go between $10 to $25, depending on the condition. And this one was in pretty good condition, so $16. And the last hat was a Miracle. It went out for $10. It was not... Mary thought I was a magician because we couldn't find this hat. We didn't have it labeled. We sold it on Mercari. I only listed it on Mercari. Probably, how long ago do you think it was?
Oh, a year?
Probably, yeah, about a year ago we listed this hat. And the third box that I looked in, I found it. It only had this number on it we used to use. But it had no indicator of what box or tub it might have been in. And we got really lucky, and I'm glad I found it because ready to get this one gone. It's going out on Mercari for $10. All right, guys, we're going to get these hats to the post office, and then we're going to get busy cleaning up these hats. And until next time,
be sure to like our videos so we can reach more hat lovers like you.